Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are whipping up a lovely batch of Satsuma shower gel. I'm excited about this shower gel for two big reasons. Reason number one, Satsuma is probably one of the first fragrances that I remember being really in love with. I remember first encountering it at a friend's house when I was, I don't know, maybe like 11 years old, and they had a Satsuma scented soap in their bathroom from the Body Shop, and just kind of coming out of the bathroom and like, what is that? And they told me that it was from the Body Shop, and I remember saving up my allowance and buying a bunch of Satsuma scented things from the Body Shop, and just, oh man, the smell of Satsuma really brings me back to like late elementary school, early junior high, just mwah. So in order to get that gorgeous Satsuma-y fragrance, we are using a dupe fragrance made by Crafter's Choice. I have linked to it in the blog post, which is linked in the description box below. Reason number two I'm excited about this body wash, it is the first hydrous self-preserving formulation that I am sharing with you. I've been working on and testing this formulation since late last summer, and I'm so excited to finally share it with you. If you are not familiar with sort of the tenets of self-preservation or hurdle technology, please make sure you are reading the blog post, which is linked in the description box below. I've included quite a thorough discussion of what exactly makes this shower gel self-preserving, and also a lot of links to helpful resources and further reading. So I don't want to go over all of that now, or this video would be very long, but yeah, please make sure you are reading the blog post. It is linked in the description box below, and it'll really explain everything and give you a lot more resources for further reading. The shower gel doesn't require any heat, so it is very quick to make. Kind of gonna mix everything up, cover it, and leave it for a while to sort of fully hydrate and thicken, and then stir. And then that's more or less it. We are going to be checking that pH before we bottle it, as that is part of the hurdle tech that keeps this fresh. But come on, let's go make some gorgeous Satsuma shower gel. We're going to begin by pre-dispersing the carageenan in some vegetable glycerin. So in the bottom of this beaker, I have 0.35 grams of iota carageenan, and to that I'm going to add 35 grams vegetable glycerin. And we'll give that a good and thorough stirring. Up next, we'll add our surfactants. So we're going to need 35 grams of sodium Laureth sulfate. And please remember that sodium Laureth sulfate is not the same thing as sodium lauryl sulfate. They are different. So please make sure you are reading up on sodium Laureth sulfate in the Humblebee and Me encyclopedia if you want to learn more. And 15 grams Cocamidopropyl Betaine. We'll also need 0.75 grams Satsuma fragrance oil. And give that a bit of a stir to combine. Up next, we're going to weigh out the watery things. So we're going to start with the distilled water and the dye. The amount of dye that we need is so little that we're not actually really going to be able to weigh it out. So what I've done is I've added together the desired end weight of the water and the dye. We're going to put about half the water in our beaker, and then we're going to open up our dye here. Grab a clean glass stirring rod, and I dip that in there, pull out just a wee bit, give that a stir, and then top that off to that desired total weight, which is 43.2 grams. We also need 0.6 grams citric acid. Be quite careful here. This is a very potent ingredient, so make sure you are going slowly and using a precise scale. Now that is all of our ingredients measured out, so now we are going to combine everything. Going to give this a bit of a gentle stir to get it moving, and then we are going to cover it with a bit of cling film and leave it for an hour or two, or overnight also works if you happen to be kind of making this shortly before bedtime, to let everything sort of dissolve and let the carageenan thicken everything up. All right, so it's been a couple hours. Let's give this a stir. All right, well that is looking lovely with a bit of stirring. It's nice and uniform, and you can see it's got a really gorgeous shower gel consistency. So now it's time to check the pH. We're going to begin by preparing a 10% dilution of the shower gel. So I'm going to measure 2 grams of shower gel into this small dish. And then adding 18 grams of water to make a 10% dilution. So we're going to use a pH meter to check the pH. It's quite a lot more accurate than strips. Strips can be good for a sort of a general idea, but when the pH is a big part of the stability of the product, we're gonna make sure we're using a more accurate pH meter. So I've taken it out of its storage solution, rinsed it off with some distilled water, turned it on, and now we're going to submerge it in our test sample. And you can see I'm tipping the dish there to make sure that, that there's enough product in one place to fully submerge the sensor of the pH meter in. And now I'm just waiting for it to display the little smiley face that shows us that we've got a final pH reading. All right, 4.16. That's great. We want it to be between sort of 4 and 4.5. And with all the work I've done on the formulation to include the citric acid in it, it should come out between 4.1 and about 4.4. So that's great. All that's left to do now is package it up. So I've got this 4 ounce or 120 milliliter tottle here. And in order to fill it, I'm just gonna turn it upside down in this beaker. Pop one of the other many bottles of this shower gel I've made in the beaker as well to hold it even, and then a funnel, and off we go. For a bit of a lather demo, we've got kind of what's left over in the beaker here. Just gonna add a bit of tap water and then use this mixer to sort of simulate, you know, working up a lather with a loofah or something. So that just about doubled in volume with bubbles. You can see that there's tons and tons and tons of bubbles. And they smell absolutely lovely, extremely Satsuma-y. And there you go. So we just made a gorgeous self-preserving Satsuma shower gel. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and please make sure you are reading that blog post linked in the description box below. There's a lot more information in there, including a lot of information and helpful links and resources on creating self-preserving formulas and sort of the why behind this is shelf-stable without a preservative. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Thanks so much for your support, and I'll see you next time.